I'm beginning to understand that gratitude is the antithesis of hunger. And when I say that, I really just mean in the sense that I think so often that in the things that we desire and the things that we want, we almost have a sense of hunger when it comes to those things. In the sense that in desiring, it's almost acknowledging that we lack that said thing to begin with. But I'm really starting to understand that if we truly want anything, even before we have it physically, if we truly want to experience having something, then it's almost about having gratitude for it before you even have it. Because I think in doing so, we almost avoid completely the imposter syndrome, where we do finally get something that we've wanted for a long time, but then we're almost under the assumption or we're under the thought process that it's not something that we deserve. So I'm really just starting to understand how important it is to have gratitude for things and not just, saying, oh, I'm thankful for this, but really feeling that gratitude for things even if you don't have them yet. It's something that my parents and just adults around me, they said it a lot when I was younger and I never really understood, in the sense that they would, like my mom would always say that words are powerful, in the sense that, even if something like a microwave isn't working, then you would never say that it isn't working, but rather you'd be thanking God and you'd just be grateful that it is working, even if physically it wasn't. And it's almost that in doing so, and if you're truly allowing yourselves to feel that gratitude, then it's almost substantiating that positivity into the real world. And in doing so, it's almost allowing those things to actually permeate in the physical world, if that makes sense. So I'm really just starting to understand how much of an opposite gratitude is to hunger and how much of an opposite gratitude is to lacking. So I think that if we truly want anything, so often, and I think it's natural a bit that almost whenever we want something, we look at it in the sense of hunger, we look at it in the sense of lacking, in the sense that, oh, I don't have this thing, so let me work hard so that I can have that thing. So almost acknowledging that the hard work and everything that we need to do, that comes before we have that thing. But I'm starting to understand that it's almost about permeating and it's almost about substantiating that gratitude in the present moment and just substantiating that positivity even before you have the thing, even before you put in the work towards getting that thing. And I think that's what allows it almost to come naturally to us. Because, I'm really starting to understand that not necessarily that hard work doesn't exist, but almost in the sense that I think that life is as hard as you make it. And, obviously, I don't mean that in the sense that, like different circumstances that may be difficult, like you cause that on yourself, but I really mean in the sense that I'm starting to understand almost how we make things difficult for ourselves. It's a saying that, you know, the water can be cold and miserable, or it can just be cold. So I think that's it comes for almost every circumstance that we find ourselves in, and that includes the things that we desire. It could either be something that we lack, or it's something that we have gratitude for having in the present moment. And so ultimately, I think that if we're grateful for those things in the present moment, and it's almost that we're good regardless of whether or not those we actually have that thing physically, and through expressing that gratitude in the present moment, then it almost is what allows it to flow naturally into our lives. Because I think that flow is so important. It's not about doing what other people are doing, but it's about doing what is best for you. And obviously, I don't mean that in the sense that, oh, like if everyone else is studying for a test and but you just don't like studying, then you shouldn't do it. I don't mean like that. But I mean almost in the way that we study, for example. From like if everyone's saying, oh, I read the textbook and I just do this, I do that, but then you recognize that that's not what's best for you, and maybe watching, YouTube study videos is what's best. That it's almost about allowing yourself to do those things and not necessarily conforming to what other people are doing simply for the fact that they're doing it. So I'm really just starting to understand how important it is to almost flow in everything that we have and flow in everything that we do. And I think that in the realm of desire, in the realm of obtaining the things that we want, it's really just about expressing gratitude for the things that we desire even before we have them. And obviously, that also comes with a lot of prayer. It comes with a lot of asking God for these things. Because I've alluded to this in other videos, but I don't think that we're in control of anything outside of us. The only thing that we can control is what's inside of us. And we just need to have faith that God will take care of the rest. It's the saying that God will steer, but he won't row. And I think that the rowing that we need to do is what we do internally. And not to say, like I said, that hard work is not something that you should ever do, and that if something's hard, then that means that you shouldn't do it. But I really just mean in the sense that I think that we almost cause things to be hard for ourselves. It's in the sense that, I think, for example, exercising and working out, it can be difficult, or it can be something that you enjoy to do. And if it's something that you really enjoy to do, then it's not something that is as difficult. Obviously there will be times when you don't necessarily feel like it, but it's almost that we cause that dissatisfaction for ourselves. If I think we're capable of changing at any moment, every moment is an opportunity for change. So I think that if we almost allowed ourselves to change, and we allowed ourselves to be grateful for the things that we don't yet have, and we allow ourselves to flow into someone that doesn't necessarily find the things that we need to do difficult, or find the things that we need to do like miserable, then it just makes everything so much easier. That's what I mean when I say life is as easy as you make it. And that's also what I mean when I say that gratitude is the antithesis of hunger. I think that in everything that we desire, we could either feel hunger for it, we could feel the lacking, or we could feel the gratitude even though we don't have it yet. And I think that feeling that gratitude, and almost feeling that gratitude so much so that you're okay whether or not you have the thing or not, that's finally what allows that thing to happen in your life. Because I think there are so many times in our lives, at least personally, that I've wanted something so badly, but it's only when I let go of wanting that thing that it finally came into my life. So it's really just not necessarily about not desiring anything, even though I think that's part of it, but it's almost not desiring anything to the point that we feel the lack of the thing. And it's more about desiring something, but also expressing gratitude as if you already have that thing. And then in doing so, you almost let go of the desire because you let go of the care and the emotional connection to having that thing in real life. I have a Bible verse that goes pretty well with the topic of this video. It's taken from 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 16 to 18. And it says, "Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." So it's really just, like I said, it's all about almost being so joyous and being so grateful for everything, even if we don't necessarily have those things yet. And in doing so, and in praying continually, because, like I said, or I guess I didn't express like directly say this, but I don't think we can do anything without God in our lives. And then also giving thanks continually, like I said, expressing that gratitude, then it's God's will, and I think that's what allows all the things that we desire to happen to truly happen. Obviously, as long as, like I said, it aligns with God's will in our lives. Um, all that to say, I just think it's important that we just try to have more gratitude for the things, even if we don't have them yet. And in doing so, and almost dissociating from the necessity for something, that's what allows it to flow into our lives. I hope you took something from this video. Yeah, that's really all to say for this one. Thank you for watching.